Doot 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 doot.
I've just been watching Maynard stream. He's playing Darkest Dungeon. You can rename your characters.
Uh-huh.
So he's doing that after subs. And I was there right at the start. I was in founding party, first couple of guys. And then I just died about 10 minutes ago.
Well, that's pretty good. Founding party's not bad.
Yeah, I made it like 3.5 hours. It's
Oh, there it
pretty
is. I love twitch.tv clip URLs. Pretty chili hornet stinky cheese.
good. It's great.
They ran out of forward URLs apparently. Yeah, so I just hopped on before the pod. Just play one game of StarCraft.
Mhm.
And so I drone scouted the Protoss, saw nothing in their base, and then scouted my natural, and he was doing the has thing. And even though I scouted, even though I prepared for it, I still lost. And I was like, rawr. And I just chatted with the guy. I just wanted to thank Has for his contribution to this wonderful game of ours. Oh man.
I don't think Huz invented cheese.
Not cheese, but this particular, like, build a whole crap ton of shield batteries and cannons in your natural, and what are you going to do about it? It's like, well, I don't have tanks. I guess I could try to get enough Ravagers up to try to one-shot these cannons, but you're already hitting me with Zealots and Stalkers and stuff, so... bleh. I'm not saying I couldn't win it, it just felt that way, so I was like, screw this. So the next game, I went pool first. Like, that'll shut it down. If I have Lings out at that 1.5 minute mark, that'll shut this down for sure. And then the person was playing fairly standard, and I just beat him with Lings anyway. Now he hates the game, so I just basically took my rage and gave it to that guy.
It's a cycle of hate, yeah.
Yeah, it really is. He's like, friggin' pool first, Zerg. I'm never supposed to stop it. You know how you stop it, guy, is first of all, don't move your Zealot from the wall. That's number one. You can avoid doing that. You have a much better chance of beating early Lings hacking at your front door.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was kind of pinging on his cybernetics core, and I'm like, come on, come get him. You can kill these Lings. And it was on hold position for a while, and then I think he manually chose to be like, all right, go get him. And I was like, oh, man. Well, there's a hole in your wall, and now you're dead.
Took the bait.
Yeah, he did. I've been in that situation before. I've got Lings just hammering on the front door, and if the Protoss is patient about it, I really can't win that. But thankfully for me, and my need to beat a Protoss player tonight, maybe he knew.
Maybe he knew what?
Yeah, maybe he was like, he has like clairvoyant abilities and was like, this guy just got wrecked by a Protoss. He needs a win against a Protoss more than I need a win against a Zerg right now, and he just let me win.
I think that's unlikely.
Probably. I mean, I don't really believe in clairvoyant abilities, so it would require me to kind of adjust my faith basis here, but yeah, you're probably right.
Are we going to see these replays pop up in cheese if they make the cut from your screeners?
I mean, neither of them are really all that impressive or unique in any way. Seriously, the reason mine did anything is because he moved his Zealot. Like, nobody wants to see that. No one's like, wow, look at him win with Zerglings because a guy couldn't hold a wall. And the other one, I just fell apart. It's like, hey, look, he built some cannons and shield batteries in the natural base, and then Falcon tried to like proxy hatch him on the other side and got shut down. That's exciting. I don't know. Would you want to watch that?
Maybe.
Maybe I'll submit it to the screeners and see what they say. Of course, then they'd be like, oh no, we have to vote for Falcon's cheese. It's his compilation.
Well, no. See, that I think at that point they go, okay, Falcon's submitting it to us. He really wants our judgment. If it was your compilation, you could just throw it in there yourself. You don't have to go through them. You know this, right?
Yeah, I know that. But how do I get an honest appreciation, an honest appraisal of the cheese if it's mine? I want the other people to tell me if it's worth including. If I wanted to include it, I could just do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the point. They have the intelligence to recognize that. They're not just like, oh, he gave us out his replay. He must want us to obviously include it.
I don't know, man. Some people are suck-ups. Some people are like, oh, Falcon wants something. We should do it regardless of what I think about this. You are obviously not that way. But some people are.
Just the rest of your screeners. Okay.
I mean, maybe not all of them, but enough that it would screw up the results.
What's it like being StarCraft famous where people just do what you want?
That's really annoying. I prefer people to act honestly around me at all times. It's gotta be like, okay, I have like 4 people who would do what I want. I can't imagine living in a world where you're like George Clooney or something, or Brad Pitt, and everyone's just like, oh, yes, that hat looks amazing on you, Brad Pitt. And he's like, do they really think that, or are they just saying it? How do I know? Celebrity sucks.
I think even celebrities can post a photo online and people will tell them if they think it's crap. And don't get me wrong, I think it is skewed that most people will be like, yeah, George Clooney, whatever.
Well, but then you get haters. So you get people that say, yeah, it's awesome, and they're just suck-ups. And then you get people who are like, it looks terrible on you because they hate George Clooney. It'd be really hard, I think, to get someone who's like, you know what, honestly, just setting aside the fact that you're super famous and ridiculously handsome, this hat looks good. How many people can do that?
Who do you go for to find out if a hat looks good now?
Um,
Because you're not George Clooney levels of fame or handsomeness, right? Who do you
no.
ask?
If I just posted it on Facebook, I think I'd get some honest replies.
From who? Family
Friends?
members and friends?
Yeah.
People that have a vested interest in keeping you in good standing?
No.
Because they enjoy your company?
Do you know my family? You don't know my family. Let me tell you about my family.
Actually, I don't know your family.
No, you don't. Let me just say that we had a big family Sunday dinner yesterday at my parents' house, and we had some friends over of one of my sisters. And at some point, the words were uttered, "No, don't say that. We have to make them think we like each other." So there is a certain level of... We will be honest about things. Like, let me tell you about my beard, for example. I show up, the beard keeps getting longer, and let me tell you, one of my brothers and one of my sisters is like, looking scruffy, don't like it. So, honest appraisal.
Is it that kind of a friendship where you'll pick on each other?
Yeah, I mean, I made fun of the dude because he doesn't have a beard, and he believes he can't grow one. So, yes, I did go there. The sister, not as much. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really want to go into the female facial hair attacking level. That's not something I was interested in doing at the time. But basically, I took their feedback. I appreciated them for their honesty and said, I'm going to keep growing it. So it was fine. They were happy. I was happy. We moved on.
Okay. Secretly, they're very upset.
They very well may be. They may be good at hiding emotional pain. I don't know. How's your family work? Like, if you, like, for some reason, if you were like, I like this shirt, but you weren't sure about it, if you asked your brother about, would he give you an honest appraisal?
Yes, because no shirt looks good on me, and I know that.
No shirt in the whole world?
No. Nothing I wear is going to naturally look good. So when it comes down to, hey, brother, does this shirt look good? It comes down to the design. Like, what's the graphic on the front?
So it's not so much, how does it look on me? It's, is the shirt excellent were it hanging on a hanger, for example?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, it is hard to quantify an answer for that because I don't ask people if they think this makes me look good or not. Because I have a feeling the answer's always no, and I just don't care.
Yep.
I mean, I really need a haircut right now. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care how bad it makes me look.
I really feel like everybody in the world needs to have some level of that in our lives. Like, if you're that concerned about what other people think about you, like that much, so much, you probably need to pull it back a little bit. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So there's nothing. Like, do you ever ask like other people about what they think about the podcast?
Yeah, I do. They all kind of give me the same response, which is, yeah, I like it.
Wow. Okay. So nobody's like, it is my sun and my moon. It is what I listen to when I wake up in the morning and what puts me to sleep at night. I listen to each episode 17 times.
So who listens to the same episode 17 times in the space of a week?
Nobody.
We're not that interesting.
No, we're not. Actually, I listened to another podcast with Katie
How
Nolan,
dare
a
you.
sports personality. I know. I listen to so many podcasts. You have no idea. But one of the podcasts that I listen to is Katie Nolan, sports personality. And she didn't used to do this. She recently started to do this. But at the end of her podcast, she's like, and so if you enjoyed the podcast, then go ahead and listen to it again. Or, maybe 3 times. You're contractually obligated to go for 2. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can listen to it 3 times. And I'm always like, okay, that's weird, number 1. And number 2, is that tracked? Is the number of times one person downloads and listens to the podcast, is that information that's available to us?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
If someone has been listening to it 17 times and I had that information, I would not have made that claim.
Sure.
But if someone does listen to an episode multiple times, there's no way for me to tell.
Okay. See, I was pretty sure you didn't have that ability because we would have talked about it. But what is she doing where she has that ability? Because clearly she does. Because she wouldn't say that unless it helped her numbers at ESPN to have people listen to it more than once.
I think telling people to listen again, it doesn't, like, they're not going to go out and listen to it twice, but they might pick up a different episode, right? Telling someone to listen again is the same way of telling someone to continue listening. It's like telling people to like and subscribe. Everyone does it and it's annoying, but it works.
But that's trackable. Liking and subscribing is trackable. The number of times somebody listens to the same podcast.
I don't think I think she's trying to be funny, maybe, by saying listen to the same one again. But I think people just move to another one.
I need to find a clip of this and play it for you.
And actually, if someone were to listen through the website, the Abyssal Trip site, if they were to come back to the same episode within a week multiple times, I could see that, now that I think about it. But it wouldn't guarantee that they listened to it. That just means they went to the same episode more than once. And they might be looking for like show notes or something later. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't guarantee a listen.
No. It doesn't guarantee an entire listen through again. I don't know. I'll find it for you and I'll send it to you later. Maybe we'll put it in the show notes. But I swear she says listen to the same episode 2 or 3 times when you're done with this one. Not go listen to other ones. Not like go back and listen to the one from 2 weeks ago. That was great. Not what she's saying.
I think the exact words are a joke, right?
I like to think I know Katie pretty well. I can tell when she's joking. No, but I've been listening to her podcast for like 3 years now. I know podcast Katie really well. And when she's doing podcast joking, it's different. It's not that.
Maybe this is like her manager being like, you have to include this because we think it would be funny. Or we think it might work.
Maybe.
And if it did work and people like come back multiple times, if ads, like, do they have like built-in ads? Third-party ads?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, if someone listened to it multiple times, maybe they could get a higher ad revenue for that week.
Yeah, totally. No, that's why. It's good for metrics and it's good for ad revenue, for sure. So anyway, what was I? I was going to say something. I was going to say something about... Oh, I did figure out a way. Thinking about this, just talking right now. If they stream the podcast instead of downloading it, right? Is that something that is a thing in Australia?
Streaming?
Yeah. So in my podcast app, I can download the podcast, or I can just stream it live over the thing.
The internet, yeah.
Yeah. So if someone streamed it multiple times on the same device, I'm sure they could tell. You think so?
How do you watch this Sports KD podcast thing? How do you watch
download it? I don't watch it. It's audio.
Okay, through an app?
Yeah.
Then there's no way to tell how many times you watched it on their end.
Unless I stream it once and then go back and stream it again, and it's being pulled from their servers twice for my same device.
That might count as the feed hitting that, like, your unique IP hitting them twice. It won't count as twice. It'll just count as one because it's the same connection. If it's immediate, I think.
I'm gonna tweet at her. She's pretty active on Twitter. She'll listen.
Gonna invite her onto the show?
No.
Why not? We talk about sports.
That's true. We do. We could do an NFL minute.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll figure this out. That's my homework, is to figure out why she says that. And if maybe, I don't know, maybe it is a thing where a producer was like, Katie, do this. And she's like, fine. And then she does it. But she doesn't believe in it. Possible. All right, that's my homeworks. Do you listen to many other podcasts? I know you listen to some, two-timer.
I don't listen to them twice.
Oh, good. Me either.
I do listen to some. Let's pull up my list and I'll just give you a number. So
Okay.
I've got... Alright, I do have 2 on this list that I have not started listening to.
Okay.
5, not including this one.
Okay. So not including this one, I'm subscribed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20.
How do you find time to listen to all of those?
I don't listen to all of them. That's how.
Okay.
Let's see. Which ones have I listened to in the last 2 weeks? In the last 2 weeks, I have specifically downloaded from 6 of them.
In the last week, I have listened to 15 hours and 40 minutes of podcasts.
What? Your app tells you that?
Yep. It gives me global statistics and individual podcast statistics, and I can tell you that my total listening time for podcasts, I did get a new phone, so it did reset there, but I've been using, but it's at 49 days at the current.
Dang.
49 days, 17 hours.
I don't think my app does that. I'm looking. Settings. Maybe if I got the pro version of the podcast app, it would say.
What app do you use?
It's called Beyond Pod. Been pretty good.
Does it have a skip silence setting?
Skip silence. No, it does not.
Okay.
I don't
It's
think
a feature I highly recommend, because when there's a silence, it'll just like automatically speed it up through it.
But what if it's a dramatic silence? What if it's important to the atmosphere of the pod?
Well, then that's an issue. Then you're going to have to turn it off if you think a podcast might include dramatic silences. But if you want to save time, like I have, I've saved 4 days and 17 hours of silence.
4 days? That's a lot of silence.
Exactly.
Oh, well, I see.
That's the point.
Is it really that much?
Uh-huh. I can send you a screenshot if you want of all my listening metrics.
Sure. Do that. We'll put it on the show note.
Yeah. And the reason why I like this is it has a great dark mode, right?
Okay.
And when you visit this podcast, it natively has a built-in button that'll pop up where it recognizes Patreon links and it'll just be like, hey, support this podcast.
Nice. Hey, this is that silence that gets cut out if you have the automatically cut out silence feature on your podcast app.
Don't worry, I cut out the silence on our podcast.
I know you do, and they're never going to know. They're never going to be like, oh, this is what he's talking about. They're going to be like, silence on a podcast? What's that? I never hear any silence on the Falcon Paladin Hour. Check that out. Support this podcast. That's fantastic. And look, it's an hour and 34 seconds. Mm-hmm. And it's 64 megabytes on a floppy disk. That's a lot of floppies.
Yeah.
Can you imagine us in the past being like, and in the future, they're going to listen to radio shows and you'll have to have like 60 floppies to fit 1 hour of radio show on it.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do love that everyone, like, it's a floppy disk, right? And it's been used, like, forever as the save icon.
Yep.
I do love that younger people don't know that was a physical thing once upon a time. They just think it's the save icon. And
Yeah.
I've overheard conversations of, oh, hey, look, I 3D printed the save icon.
I feel so old when that happens. Floppies were the thing for so many years. Mm-hmm. Then you had the 5 1/4 ones that really didn't apparently persist in cultural memory.
No.
Remember the 5 1/4s?
No.
Oh man. Okay, so hold on. I'll send you a link. It's the well, that's always confused me as a kid because the one on the left here is a floppy.
Right.
Well, the one in the middle. And it bends. It's not hard on the outside. So when they started calling the 3 1/4 inch diskettes floppies, it was a carryover. They just call the original ones floppies. They call the newer version floppies, even though they don't flop. And I was always like, well, when you say floppy, what are you talking about? And now it just means the 3 1/4 inch
Right.
discs. Yeah.
Like those small ones, I remember like having a big case of them and like flipping through them and putting them in the PC. That's where I first played Prince of Persia, one of those.
Yeah. And it was on like 3 floppies.
I think we only had the one.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't think we had the full game. If we did, and I was way too young to be any good at it.
Oh, it was like the shareware version. That's fantastic. Yeah, it always amazes me that early video games fit on tiny, tiny amounts of memory. Just tiny, tiny blocks. Like Atari cartridges, not much memory on there.
No.
I actually heard a great story about the founding of Activision.
Yeah, how they left Atari and wanted to be ahead of them in the phone book.
Yeah, so that's part of it. But did you hear the story of why they left?
Yes, but I don't remember it. So please tell me.
So basically they were getting paid peanuts. Like the people, and when we're talking about making video games, these guys designed the hardware that the cartridges were made from. Like they weren't just writing code, they were doing all of the things. And so they went to their boss and said, "Hey, we need a raise. We are the heart and soul of Atari, and it's making it's making you a ton of money, and we're not being compensated fairly." And their boss was like, "Ha ha ha, screw you guys. All you do is make cartridges. You're basically towel designers," and like sent them away. They said, "Screw you, man," and they walked out and they founded Activision, and then Atari fell into the dirt. The end. Management. They never understand the talent that they have.
No, they really don't. Making video games back then was way different to it is now. Like they were coding games as they went out the door for like on cartridges because there was no real way to test them before they went to manufacturing. And so once they got them back and they could play them, that's when they'd write the instruction manuals.
Yep.
And they would just write bugs as features. Once you get far enough to the right and jump over this thing, the whole screen turns purple and you win.
Way to go! Secret special ending.
The regular ending, because that's how that is.
Yeah, Atari. I never had one, but one of my friends did growing up. And we were too young for Atari to be our console. That was more of a Nintendo thing, but his dad had one just lying around. We used to play it sometimes. Didn't really keep our attention for very long. I don't remember what we used to play. There was some kind of like, call on the Atari. Mostly Space Command and things like that. Centipede. The classics.
Sure.
So anyway, speaking of video game stuff, I asked in the Discord server if anybody had anything they wanted us to talk about in the pod tonight, and one of our members said, how about StarCraft stuff like outside of the games, like for example books and comics and stuff?
I really thought you were going to go with the other thing someone suggested.
There was another thing? Did I miss it?
It's in the Falcon Paladin Hour tab. The picture of the deer.
Channel. Oh, oh yeah.
Well, let's go back to StarCraft.
Like, I love you, man, but I can't tell if this is a joke submission or not. We're gonna move on. StarCraft stuff. So, Dark Horse Comics is making a StarCraft comic book called Scavengers, and there's Scavengers 1 came out July 25th of this year, so it's fairly new.
Okay.
And I will send a link to the Somicron so he can look at it as well.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Figured I'd do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I kind of like it. I mean, it basically, as far as I can tell, I haven't read the whole thing, just kind of the preview here, but it basically follows the experiences of randos in the Terran military, right? They're not heroes. It's not Matt Horner. It's not Jim Raynor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even Swan. It's just randos who are kind of swept up in this thing and don't have a lot of say about what's happening.
Yes. Just to be clear, you know this isn't the first StarCraft comic book, right?
That is correct. This is
Right.
the newest one, though. Yeah.
And to be fair, if you buy the war chests, they come with online comic books, right?
Ooh, all of them?
That you, well, yeah. Each week it'll unlock a new chapter, and I think it's like a 3-chapter book.
Oh,
It's not
nice.
each week, each phase. My apologies. Each phase unlocks a new portion of a book.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that you can just read online.
Well, neat. We'll go get the war chest, everybody. I'm going to be honest. I have not been getting war chests because I don't really care about skins. I notice when I'm casting, but not so much when I'm playing. It's kind of like my experience with maps. People are like, well, what do you think about this map? And I'm like, I don't see maps. My brain says, here's my base and here's my opponent's base. And then it goes, what is the line between my base and my opponent's base? And then I go for it.
That's fair. I think that's a fair way to look at it.
So same thing with skins. Like I can't remember the last time I played someone and was like, oh, nice skin. But when I'm casting, I can see it because I'm less stressed out and less involved in what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, less worried about macro back home. Anyway,
It's more of a benefit for you if other people buy the war chest.
for me?
Yeah, because then you get to see all the cool skins in action, but you don't have to pay for them.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Correct. And I'll appreciate them more because I'm casting them instead of playing with them.
And it gives you something to talk about.
It does. Like, for example, like us talking about it now, the podcast and the StarCraft casting. But I mean, I don't think I like any of the Zerg skins, really. The closest to a Zerg skin that I've really liked has kind of been the Mecha Zerg thing. I think Queens look kind of neat, and Zerglings are cool. But I'm not really a fan of the drones. I don't know. It's a mixed bag for Zerg. I really like some of the Terran stuff and some of the Protoss stuff. But since I play Zerg, I'm just,
You know you don't have to have the entire race on the same skin, right, though?
That's true.
If you don't like the Zerg one but really want the Ultralisk to be Macro, you can just have the Ultralisk to be Macro.
But the Ultralisk needs to be Heart of the Swarm Collector's Edition.
Right.
With, like, glowy tusks and stuff.
Okay. If that's what you... Okay.
But I get what you're saying. You can mix and match, and if there are certain skins you like, then you can use them for the units that you like and not use it for the units you don't like, and it just makes sense.
Exactly.
All right, cool. Maybe I'll look at that. Maybe I will look into it. Additionally, I got another request for a Falcon Paladin voice pack for StarCraft, and the general response to that is, look, if Pig and Loco don't have one, how the crap is Falcon going to get one? And I say, that is an excellent, excellent point. But then I think, if I told Blizzard, hey guys, send me some voice lines, I'll record them for free on my own time with my own equipment and just send them to you, and then you can just make it available in the store and you can take all the money from it, like, would they say no to that?
Yes, because
But
you've asked them to write the voice lines. That's going to cost their writers like
okay,
time and
fine.
money.
I'll just go look at what's in existing voice packs and make my own voice lines based on what's
That's
in
the
there.
point. All the voice packs are unique. You're not just saying the same thing as everyone else.
That's true. It's not the exact same line they have. They are unique. Fair enough. All right, I will write my own Falcon Paladin voice lines, and I will record them, and I will send them to you in a very high quality voice audio format, and then you just have to put them on the store. That'll take somebody like 10 minutes. I'll even send you like $20 for that person's 10 minutes of time. Who says no?
I don't know. The first contact you email at Blizzard, he's like, "This isn't my job."
Maybe I'll tweet at them. The people on social media are pretty responsive to stuff, and they have a lot of power, right?
Yeah, just ask them. Hey, what do I have to do to get a voice pack in the store. They might respond
I'm doing it right now.
right now.
Right now, as we speak. Again, there's that little voice in my head. It's Royal Alchemist voice every time. And he says, but Pig doesn't have one, and Loco doesn't have one, so,
Yeah, but lots of people don't have one. That's not the point.
true. All right. Maybe they're like, we have been neglecting other casters other than Tastosis and Total Biscuit. Is there another one that I'm forgetting?
Yes.
Crap, who?
I'm not telling you. You can work it out.
Does Rotterdam have one?
I don't think so.
If Roddy doesn't have one, I'm even in more trouble.
I think there's a Todd one that's just look at the supply.
Is
Look at
that
the
It's literally, no matter what's going on, he just says, look at the supply. Oh my gosh. Oh, that'd be beautiful. All right, webpage. Holy crap, there are... I forgot about Day 9. Of course there's Day 9.
Mm-hmm.
And there is In Control. Okay, forgot about In
Alex
Control.
07. 007.
Who's the Russian dude I didn't know existed until I got a voice pack.
Mm-hmm. And Nathanius.
Oh, and Nathanius has one and Roddy doesn't? That's weird.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a couple of like Korean casters.
Koreans, yep.
And Pumph and Thud, who I've never heard of.
Pumph and Thud. I'm clicking on their links. Pumph is French, and Thud is also French. Oh, they're brothers. They're like Day
Oh.
9 and Tasteless.
So they don't look similar. Okay.
What? I mean, there's not even a... Oh, there is a picture. It wasn't loading for Thud. Yeah, I would not say they were brothers just by looking at them.
No. Maybe they're adopted.
Maybe.
I'm gonna assume Thud's adopted because Pumph sounds like a French name, so.
Whereas Thud does not.
No.
Pumph a Thud. Do they have a Twitch stream or a YouTube channel? To the Googles. This is the best part. Yep. They have a YouTube channel.
Oh.
It is StarCraft in French. They have 102,000 subscribers.
Ooh. A little bit ahead of you.
I mean, everyone's ahead of me. I think tweeting at StarCraft is the right thing to do.
Tag Blizzard as well. Like you can at multiple people do that.
I can. I'm going to also do the StarCraft esport. No.
It's not an
Blizzard-
esports thing. I wouldn't do it in esports.
No, it's not. You're right. Blizzard Entertainment. Hey, what does a caster have to do to get their own StarCraft 2 voice pack for people to buy? Should I say I'm willing to make up my own lines and record them in my own house?
No, because that's probably what they want you to do anyway.
No, that's probably how they do it with everybody.
Actually, no, they didn't get people to do it from their homes. I know Total Biscuit, In Control, and I think Nathanius all did it in a studio.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
See, you won't have to fly me in. You don't have to provide expensive studio time. I mean, they probably have their own studio. They're not renting it out or anything.
Probably not.
Probably not. What does a caster have to do to get their own? All right, that's my tweet. I'm going to send it unless you tell me not to.
No, send it. Do it.
Bam.
Do it,
Sent.
do it, do it.
Thanks, Lucy. Have you been watching Disenchanted?
I have not.
Oh. Was that Lucy you were doing?
It was. It
Okay,
was.
good.
I was doing Lucy.
Nice. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
All right, well, it's out. So every time I try to describe what the Discord is, I kind of struggle with it because, for example, there's a lot of talk about StarCraft and there's a lot of talk about other video games like you'd expect. But then also there was a huge discussion today that we had with somebody in the United States, somebody in England, and somebody in Hungary about the politics and social activism of Star Trek that went on for like 2 hours. So you never know. That's all I'm saying. You never know what's going to pop up. So if you think you don't belong in the Falcon Paladin server, I say you do. You will be welcomed as family, unless you're a jerk, in which case you will not be welcomed as family. But if you're listening to this podcast, I'm pretty sure you're not a jerk.
I make no promises.
Dang it. Why do you have to ruin everything, Somagron?
I don't ruin anything. You guys were having a lovely chat about Star Trek politics, and I did not ruin that. I saw it, went back to bed.
Oh, good.
I was like, not getting involved.
Smart. Because, I mean, I don't know. We were talking about some pretty potentially incendiary stuff that could turn into arguments and things, but everybody was very polite and listened carefully to what the other people were saying and made points without attacking the other person, and it went very well, I think. So anyway, if you like Star Trek, if you like video games, if you like TV at all, Hey, look, someone just joined.
Yeah, if you have hobbies and interests, maybe you would enjoy the Discord.
That's it. That should be the explanation. If you have hobbies or interests, you should join the Discord server. I honestly struggle to think of any hobby or interest that we just don't have any representation of. Okay,
Beekeeping.
Maybe beekeeping. Taxidermy. Well, I was thinking maybe that guy who was talking about deer would know something about both of those things.
What? Taxidermying bees?
No. I mean, both of them separately, not together.
I mean, knowing about something isn't having an interest in it.
Well, but...
It's like, I know what beekeeping is. That doesn't mean I'm a beekeeper.
Oh, right. But, I mean, I'm not a beekeeper either, but I've had long discussions with one of my bosses about his beekeeping, and I constantly talk to him about it throughout the year and, like, what the challenges are and how it's going and stuff. I feel like I have an interest in beekeeping, even though I don't actually keep bees.
Okay. Are you going to start beekeeping?
No, definitely not. I don't have time
when
for
you
that.
retire, maybe?
Maybe.
Like in like 40 years when your kids are all having their own kids and you can be like, I made this honey myself.
If my kids are having their own kids in 4 years, I've done something terribly, terribly wrong.
I said 40.
Oh, 40 years. Dang. 40 years might be overestimating. Because that means, well, I mean, 44 is pretty old to have kids. Like, they don't recommend women have children after the age of 40.
How old were your parents when they had the now youngest?
Oh, yeah. My mom was, I don't know, like 45. And the doctors were like, this is a really bad idea. And she was like, and it was fine.
I'm not saying that they're having their kids in 40 years. I'm saying that kids anywhere between now and then, right?
Yes.
Right, but 40 years is roughly when I expect you to retire, right?
What?
That'd be a right age.
At 75?
Yeah.
What's retirement age in Australia?
I don't know, like 42 when the snake bites you and you die.
Your retirement is death because spiders.
I don't know the retirement age. I'm way off from that. I don't have to worry about that just yet.
Are you serious? You don't know what the average retirement age in Australia is?
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and before I Google it, I'm gonna say 64.
Okay, that seems entirely reasonable.
65 to 67, depending
There
on
you
your
go.
date of birth.
Done. Wait, what? What does that matter?
I don't know.
Are there government retirement programs, maybe? I bet that's what it is.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think people are going to start retiring later in life as cost of living goes up.
True.
So who knows? Maybe in 40 years, it'll be 75.
Maybe I won't be able to retire until I'm 75. That's the depressing thought of the day. Holy smokes.
40 years from now is when I'll be 65 and retiring.
Right. So that's perfect for you, just not me.
I forget that you're an old man already.
I am. I'm so very, very old. And I mean, okay, it's not like I'm counting down the days until I retire, because that would be stupid. But honestly, in some kind of weird macro level, having another 10 years to work after I think I'm going to retire is not a happy thought. Unless my work is casting StarCraft full time, in which case that is a happy thought.
Maybe.
Maybe by that point I'll have this figured out.
Maybe by then you'll have a voice back.
Oh yeah, in 40 years? Maybe. Blizzard has like one guy maintaining StarCraft. That'd be great.
It's David Kim chained up in a basement with a wrench and a server.
They got him back in somehow. Like, nobody else wants to maintain this game, David. If you don't do it, it'll die. And he's like, fine.
His leg is caught in a mousetrap that was, instead of having like cheese on the end, it was new IP.
They lured him down there. Poor David. And all anybody does is complain about balance. It's just constantly whining. He just does it as a labor of love despite the abuse that he takes. Oh, now I kind of want this to happen.
You want to intentionally trap someone in Blizzard's basement?
I mean, it's because he loves StarCraft so much. That's a good thing, right?
Sure.
He'll come back. David Kim can't leave the game forever. Did you know there's a famous American violinist named David Kim?
No, I didn't know that.
Did you know that if you search David Kim on Wikipedia, the StarCraft David Kim doesn't even come up?
I'm not surprised.
What the heck? He doesn't have his own Wikipedia page?
But here's the thing. You search for David Kim and Google has a complete for him. That shows him as being linked to Wings of Liberty and Legacy of the Void. So it obviously knows who we're talking about.
Not when I searched David Kim. Did yours bring in the StarCraft automatically?
Technically, it lists him as an athlete.
Oh.
He's a video game athlete. So
Your Australian Google is different from my America Google. Because all I have is the violinist and Some insurance agent?
Okay, so the top 3 results, there's apparently a Dr. David Kim in Australia somewhere. The same David Kim, but as a research supervisor profile on some other website. And then the Wikipedia for our David Kim.
It's got to be localized. It totally does. Because look, I get an American violinist, an American CEO and founder of C2 Education Centers, and an insurance agent here in Utah. So that's weird. Like, you don't care about StarCraft, but for some reason, Omicron does.
You guys all hate foreigners.
Makes perfect sense. How many pages do I have to go before I find the correct guy? Look, there's somebody at the Washington Post named David Kim. Here's a cardiologist. We're never getting there.
There's a website here called David Kim Yoga that I really hope is our David Kim.
That would be great. There's a David Kim who works at New England Baptist Hospital. Google doesn't know who this guy is if you Google him from America.
Apparently not.
He's got to be more important than this random attorney that I'm looking at right now, right? This guy's a veterinarian. I'm going to tweet this out. Dear Google, why you disrespect David Kim? Oh, Liquipedia result on page 7.
It's weird because you Google a lot of StarCraft stuff occasionally, right?
All the time, using this very browser.
So you think it would just like recognize that you searched StarCraft stuff and kind of prioritize that, but maybe your kids are coming in while you're sleeping Googling violinists.
Maybe.
Changing all the algorithms.
And like veterinarians and stuff.
Maybe, yeah. They want a puppy so bad they don't care where they get it from.
Entirely possible. Rah, rah, rah. I don't know, man. It's weird. Also, the weird thing about it is, I mean, everybody knows, right, that if you're on page 7 of the Google results, you're in a sad place. You're truly desperate.
Was that where you found David Kim on page 7?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. What dedication I had to look through 6.5 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.5 pages of results before I found this Liquipedia entry. I think it would help if you had a Wikipedia page instead of on Liquipedia.
So David Kim's career name is Kim Tae-yong. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation. Turns out Tae means womb in English.
What? That's weird. And if you search Kim Tae-yoon, it actually links you to a South Korean singer.
Really?
Yep, a K-pop singer. He has the same name as a female K-pop singer who's more famous than he is. Holy crap! No wonder he goes by David Kim.
I think he goes by David Kim because he works in America, and it's way easier just to have a Romanized name.
That's fair, but seriously, check this out.
Yeah, I
Kim
found
Tae-yeon.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Korean singer.
She's a huge deal. I guarantee. Well, I don't
Not
guarantee.
a she, a he.
Huh?
He is a member of South Korean boy band BTS.
There's another one? This is definitely a she. The one I just linked to you in chat is a she. Is Kim Tae-yeon like the multi-gender John Smith of Korean? How many famous people are there with the name Kim Tae-yeon?
Okay, to be fair, it's showing me it's like you searched for this, but we're showing you results for this. So instead of it's basically just a different spelling for young. It's throwing a H on the end of Tae and then showing me Y-U-N-G instead of the way you're spelling it.
But it's a Korean boy band.
It's a member from a Korean boy band, yeah. It's the same name, just a different spelling.
Yeah, okay. And this is a female member of a Korean K-pop band. Amazing. More Googling. Kim Tae-yeon. There's a character. Translate this page for me. I just realized it's not all the way in English. Okay, that's the same person. Yeah, Google's all about showing me this Kim Tae-yeon, like the girl version. I don't see anything about the dude. They didn't automatically suggest me for that.
Fair enough.
That's hilarious. We need to do more investigation and see how many famous people in Korea are named Kim Tae-yeon. That's the best thing I've ever seen. Anyway, David Kim. So he's still working for Blizzard, right?
I don't know. I assume so. I thought that was when he moved off StarCraft. He was just moving to a undisclosed game.
Yeah, which at the time was maybe Overwatch.
No, Overwatch was out when David King left.
He left in April 2017 for sure.
Yeah.
Decided to branch out to a different project to explore, learn, and grow as a game designer. This other project will be right here at Blizzard. So what is it? They haven't released anything since Overwatch. Ooh, fancy.
I mean, it should be no surprise that they have other projects that they're working on.
Be nice if one of them came out.
Yeah.
I mean, Overwatch was what, 2012? 13?
15?
Was it really 20? Oh my gosh, 2016.
Yeah.
I guess I'm remembering when it was announced, which was earlier than that, obviously, but
2015.
Yep, not 2012 at all. Yeah, I'm still sad that Overwatch doesn't have a campaign, because I would own it if it had a campaign.
Yeah. I mean, it has campaign levels. They're just
know,
not
but it's
always
not.
available for some unknown reason.
Wait, what?
Yeah, okay, so the campaign levels that it has, like, they do, like, a weekly rotation of events.
Mm-hmm.
Some weeks there's a campaign mission, like, it's like a co-op campaign, where you move through an area, fight AI guys, there's story elements, but they're just, you can't always jump in and play them.
Like they're grayed out, or they're just not there?
They're just not there. Like, something else is in the rotation. Like, if there's an event on that week, for instance, I think for all of October, it's a Halloween theme event.
Okay. And Mercy's a witch. I know that.
Yes.
And there's the guy in the hamster ball. His name is Hampton
Hammond.
or something. Oh, Hammond. So close. So close. Hammond. I only know anything about Hammond because Donkey put out a video where he played as Hammond.
Okay.
And as usual, he just put clips of people who hated on him for choosing Hammond.
Right.
And then he wins the game. But there's a very particular moment where apparently Hammond in his hamster ball, you can like set up a little chain that hooks to things and then he swings around kind of like a tetherball. Do you have tetherball in Australia?
Yeah.
How would you describe his tetherball ability?
A grappling hook. Like a swingable grappling hook.
Okay, fine. So he uses his swingable grappling hook to like swing around a corner and hide from people, hit the enemies, and they come chasing after him. And it's just perfectly positioned to where he swings back around and knocks them off a cliff and they die.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So classic Hammond maneuver. That's all I know about Hammond, basically. The end. Those are the things.
Okay, the other things that you need to know about Hammond is he was like a research experiment on a space station, and he invented that his ball to escape and landed in Australia.
Oh.
Yeah. Alright, see, this is why I want a story, because, like, well, a campaign, because the story elements that they have is fantastic. Australia is, like, properly outback Mad Max wasteland, right? That's what it, in story, is what it's like. So he lands there and puts, like, machine guns on his ball and then starts to rule, I guess.
Wow. It starts to rule the Outback. Yeah, that's the weird thing. They give backstories to everyone, and then they're like, but there's not really a story, so go kill each other now. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying. That's neat, though. I mean, so he's not Australian, he's science, but that is his nationality is science. I guess there's also the thing where he turns into a big ball of like scary energy, and if he rolls into you, you die.
I think that's probably his ult.
Yeah, that would make sense. That sounds like an ult, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, you're not good enough to ever have gotten his ult, but that's fine.
Screw you.
That's how I know it's true.
No.
What? No, it's not?
Because he came out and I was like, oh, let's jump around and I'll play with him for a bit. And I was like, okay, I kind of get how he handles, but I don't care that much. I just went back to playing characters that I wanted to.
Oh, who is your favorite character?
Junkrat.
Junkrat.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk up Junkrat before. What do you like about Junkrat?
He throws, like, he has a grenade launcher, he throws mines, and has, like, a snare trap. He's great.
Okay. I'm going to look up Overwatch character rankings and see if the internet agrees with you.
He's also Australian.
Oh, is that what's going on here? You're just being Australia-centric? Why you like Hammond? Because he landed in Australia.
Didn't say that's why I liked Hammond. I just said that's what he does
Oh,
in the
right.
in the cinematic.
That's why you played him.
Let's see, Junkrat is top 5? Top 6?
Nice. This one has 12.
Okay. Well, this one looks older. I'm just going to throw that out there.
This one's from, I think that's from this year. It says, Junkrat, the favorite of any lane defense fanatic. He is the best by plotting massive destruction and treasure heists.
Okay.
Junkrat's appeal isn't that he's an out-of-his-brain outbacker. It's that we all see a little bit of Junkrat in ourselves. That's deepdaily.com.
That's deep, and I'm 14.
Yep. It's a good subreddit.
Yeah.
Because I can totally see 14-year-old me in every one of those. I'm like, oh, yeah, that does appeal. Crap. Yeah, Hammond's top 5, and then it's got May, Reinhardt, Tracer, and Diva rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, people
Seems
love
fair.
Tracer.
This makes me, I mean, so Blizzard does this thing where it introduces new characters or classes or whatever, and then makes them really good so people will play them, which is fair. Because if you introduce a new character or class in one of your games and they suck, then nobody will figure them out.
Right.
So that's why Hammond is top 5. I wouldn't be surprised to see him fall down a little bit once people figure out what's going on with him.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. I also like the theory. Did we talk about this on the pod? Where Blizzard basically is in a meeting and they're talking about the next Overwatch character. And they're like, every one of our new characters in Overwatch turns into porn in about 45 seconds. What can we possibly do? And then someone's like, a hamster in a ball. And then the internet said, hold my beer. You can't win, Blizzard. I'm sorry.
Well, here's the thing. Rule 34ing any of their characters, regardless of it being a hamster or not, is good for Blizzard. That's only good for them.
True. But at the same time, they have a family-friendly aesthetic that I don't feel like they're super happy about it, even if they recognize it's good for them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe publicly they're not happy about it. Internally, I bet they're cheering.
That's true. And although, I mean, they haven't exactly shied away from making their female characters especially, like, super sexy, right? They put some effort into that.
Sure.
I mean, Nova, right? Like, pre-infested Sarah Kerrigan. It's like, okay, so these are ghosts. These are elite assassins who happen to have supermodel bodies, right?
Right, I get that. But then you have May,
Yes.
right? She's not hypersexualized at all.
She's not traditional supermodel style body type, correct?
And then you have Orisa, who is calling her a female is a little hard. She's programmed to be feminine, but she's a robot.
Okay. So yeah, robot, hard to be sexy. That said, I have seen enough Battlestar Galactica. Anyway.
I haven't seen any of it.
Oh, somebody will get that. Maybe not you, but somebody listening will understand. And I guess Torbjorn is a dwarf, so maybe some people are into that. He's kind of the dad of Overwatch. That's what the Daily Dot says.
Okay.
I don't know anything about Overwatch. I know some things. It is by far the Blizzard game I know the least about.
No. What's the game I know the least about? Let me open my Blizzard.
Rock and Roll Racing, Lost Vikings, Warcraft 1. Just naming that stuff.
Yeah, I mean all of that stuff. Sure. I just want to. I was thinking more the modern stuff.
Current,
Like,
okay.
Stuff that's in their launcher.
Right.
I would have to say probably Heroes of the Storm.
Like, if you got dropped into any of the Blizzard games, there's nothing where you'd be like, I've never played this before. What on earth am I doing? You would know what to do on a broad level.
But a broad level doesn't count if you have to play the game. If you have to play the game, you need to know specifics of what to do, right? Because if you were a League of Legends player and went to Heroes of the Storm, you wouldn't know that there's no shop, that you don't buy gear, or that there's objectives probably.
Yeah, you might miss that. Very possible. Anyway, did you figure out which game you know the least about from the Blizzard catalog?
Yeah, Heroes.
Heroes. All right, definitely Heroes.
Well, I've finished StarCraft 2, obviously. I played a lot of Overwatch and Hearthstone and Diablo and WoW. So where does that leave? Leaves Heroes.
True. As long as we're not going too far back in the catalog.
Yeah, I mean, anything not those, like, what is that, 7 games, I've never played.
Right. So those don't count.
Obviously, all of them.
Yes. It's a big tie for first there. All right. I think it's NFL Minute time. How about you?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. You're always so excited for these. I can tell.
Is it excitement?
No, but I choose to believe it is.
One of these days, I'm going to watch all the, NFL that I can find, and then we'll have an actual conversation during the minute.
Holy crap. That will blow everybody's minds.
It will.
All
3, 2, 1, go.
Patriots are looking okay, you guys. They do this every year lately. September, they're horrible. October, they figure it out. No real worry there. They went ahead and took down the Colts 38-24. Also, the Jets looked really good against the Broncos. They could be frisky. Sam Darnold might be one of the darling quarterbacks of the future that we're looking at right now. Patrick Mahomes, who talked about quite a bit, did win 30-14 against the Jaguars on Sunday. He didn't look amazing doing it. I didn't actually start him on my fantasy team because I was worried the Jaguars defense would shut him down, but he was fine. Really nothing to worry about there. And other possible news, the Rams beat the Seahawks to remain undefeated. The Rams, Super Bowl favorites for sure, winning 33-31 against a very frisky Seahawks team that could have rolled over and died, but didn't. And in the worst game of the NFL week, it's the Cowboys and Texans in a 19-16 overtime game with two horrible coaches and two teams that just seem entirely undisciplined and uninterested in getting victories. But somebody had to come out ahead. It didn't end in a tie, and the Texans win 19-16 against the Cowboys. That wasn't bad.
Technically, you got a little over a minute because I thought you were gonna finish a couple words earlier, and I was just like, yeah, I'll let him finish on a perfect note, but then you kept going.
Dang it. I was feeling it. I was feeling close. Better than last week, I think.
Yes.
Last week, I was going, man.
No. Last week you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it.
Just keep do that every week. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying I may have fixed it to make it. You nailed it last
Well,
week.
you always fix it, so I...
No, I don't.
Oh, but if I need the help?
Only if you need the help.
That's very nice. I appreciate that. Thank you, editing genius. And yeah, if you want to watch Somicron edit the podcast, you can do so at twitch.tv/the Somicron. Okay, it's not the Somicron, but it's Somicron. And
yes.
you can watch the magic behind the scenes.
I wouldn't call it magic.
Oh.
If I did this on stage in an X Factor, I probably wouldn't win.
No. Nope. I do basic audio editing. How did you get here?
There was a line. I thought it was for, burrito.
But it turns out Good thing I had my laptop with me. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, unless you have anything else, I think that's going to be it from us.
No, I think that's it.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for listening to another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. Feel free to support the podcast on Patreon. Check it out in the show notes. And until next time, as always, thanks for being here. Thank you for spending your time with us this week. And you take care of yourself.